to order. Roll call, please.
Gorham.
Here.
Gersula.
Here.
Peterson.
Here.
Powell.
Here.
Duval.
Here.
Erickson.
Here.
All right.
Motion or privilege to turn the air conditioning up so I don't take all this stuff off.
There we are. All right. Would somebody like to lead us on the Pledge of Allegiance? Dave.
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. I think we got an oath.
So Don, stand up and raise your right hand and repeat after me. So I, Don Gorham,
I, Don Gorham,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly swear I will uphold the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
State of Minnesota, Constitution of that, yes.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Office of Planning Commission of the City of Brainerd, Minnesota,
of the Office of the Planning Commission of the City of Brainerd, Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability, so help me God.
to the best of my judgment and abilities, so help me God.
Thank you very much
All
for
right.
resubmitting.
I've been sworn. With that, I'm opening the floor to nominations for, Mike, do you need a moment there?
You can roll.
You got your mic on?
You can roll with it as long as it won't make too much noise. I'll turn my mic off.
Oh, well, no, turn your mic on because, you may have to make a nomination here. I'm opening the floor for the nomination of the officers, the chair and vice chair of the Planning Commission for 2026. So the floor is open.
I'd like to make a motion for Don to be chair.
Do we have a second?
Second, to all,
Do we have any other nominations for anybody else?
for the position of,
The position of chair. Any other nominations that anybody wants to make, or is it just we're going to stick with what we have? If so, I think we can do a straight vote, and we don't have to do anything. So here we go. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. There we have it. Now we need a vice chair.
Mr.
And-
Chair,
Yes.
may I nominate Commissioner Grasula for vice chair?
Tremendous idea. Do we have a second on that? We have a second from Mr. Erickson on that. All right. Are there any other nominations for the vice chair? Looking. Without any, all in favor of Justin being our vice chair? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign? All right. We have officers. We are set. With that, we are up to 8A. I'm going to open it for a public forum. This is the chance for anybody to speak on items that are not on today's agenda.
Mr. Chair, I think we can move back if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
for the
yeah,
agenda.
we haven't done the agenda in the minutes. I got pretty excited here. You sure you want to stick with me as chair? All right,
Self-sabotage.
giving you a chance here. Looking for a motion and approval of the agenda.
So move.
All right. Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We have an agenda. Looking for approval of December minutes.
So moved.
So moved. Do we have a second?
Could we make an amendment to those before we, would you be willing to withdraw your motion for a moment?
Yes, I will withdraw.
Okay, I believe in the minutes, the discussion regarding the trail for the Voyager Heights should be, I believe Commissioner Gorham led that discussion, trail connections and such to that. That was attributed to me, but I don't own that, and
I will own that.
I don't want to steal that.
There we go. Do we have, looking for a motion to approve the minutes with the amendment?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. There we go. We have minutes. Now, that moment you're waiting for, public forum, looking for the chance for citizens to opine on anything that might not be on tonight's agenda. Looking. Anybody online? All right, probably not here for the public forum. That'll move us to item number 9, unfinished business. And that would be our final reading on the plat for Voyager Heights. James?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So Keepers has submitted applications for a final plat and a planned unit development final plan for a proposed 176-unit apartment complex. The original design was amended to move the stormwater infiltration ponds outside of the Duisma. City Council did review the EAW and pass a resolution stating that the EAW was sufficient. The city can now make a final decision on the requests. The fire marshal has reviewed the plans and has no access concerns for the site. Keepers did submit a revised tree removal plan that maintains a significant buffer to the west. Also, Outlot B will be given to the city and is a location of the lift station. Outlot B is a wetland and has significant vegetation and will provide a buffer to the north. The city engineer and public works director have no concerns at this time regarding the utilities and stormwater designs. Staff are currently working with Keepers on upsizing sewer and water for potential future development in this area. Potential future expansion of Outlot A, just to note, will require a significant utility improvement project on Crestview, which will not happen probably for several years, but staff is preparing for that potential. And also to note, future development of Outlot A would require the developer to replat and amend the PUD as well, as structures cannot be built on outlots, so I wanted to note that as well. The findings were changed to state that the city shall consider a future trail to connect the existing trail system. The developer amended the lighting plan, and staff did attach some of those specifications. They did change the pole that will meet the outdoor lighting requirements. I did speak with the contractor for the lighting, and they did indicate that a shield can be installed on the light pole fixture to shield the ball from the right-of-way if needed. A revised landscape plan has been provided as the plans had to be amended, and they do generally meet the requirements of the code. Staff will work with the developer to make any small adjustments if needed to meet the landscaping requirements of the zoning code. So with that, staff recommend approval of the final plat and final PUD as presented, and I can answer any questions.
Questions for James?
Mr. Chair, I have one.
Yes, Dave?
One of the things you first were talking about, they were gonna give land to the city, an outlot or something like that. What are the negatives and the positives? Why is that?
It's because our lift station will be located on it, and it's a wetland, so it's not really needed by the developer.
Okay.
So that's really the reason for that.
Okay.
Any other questions? Yes, Mr. Erickson.
Yeah, so I had one, we had a resident at the last meeting, and then we also had a letter about the tree buffer. I believe it's the Outlot A, I think it's the southern portion. So Outlot A is essentially not being built on currently in this phase, and it would have to come back to Planning Commission and Council for future. Is that,
It would.
okay. Okay, that's good for now, thank you.
All right. Any other questions for staff? Mike, please.
Director Kromvik, forgive me if you mentioned it. Was there a planned conservation easement on the woodland area or somewhere in that neighborhood, or is there anything proposed?
So staff was not recommending a conservation easement on there. Certainly, the developer would have to come back if they do want to construct on there. And at that time, staff seems to be appropriate to have that discussion. Right now it would keep things open-ended and not essentially lock the property into any type of a permanent easement, either for the developer or for city if there's any type of city infrastructure needed. So at this time, staff is not recommending some type of permanent conservation easement, as it's just an outlot at this point.
And so the applicant is not proposing that in what we're reviewing tonight?
They are not.
Okay, thank you. That want to clarify. Thanks. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Very good. If there aren't any other questions, I do believe we have to open a public hearing on this. Is that right? Are we doing a hearing tonight?
No public hearing on
No
this.
public hearing?
Not required for the final plat or the final PUD.
So then we're looking for a motion.
Mr. President, so moved to approve the final plat.
And we have a second from Mr. Peterson. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. All right. We have final approval for the plat.
I see a,
Yeah, and then there would have to be approval for the final PUD as well.
So we have to do it again.
So you did the plat, you just
Now
have
we
to
do
do
the
one for
PUD. All
the
right.
final PUD.
Any questions about the PUD for the chair, or not for the chair, for staff?
move to approve as presented.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Not hearing any. I will, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. There we are. Now we got both parts for you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Shazam.
Next steps for these gentlemen, I suppose they know, but
Yep, so this will be heard at the next city council meeting, which will be the first meeting in February. Let me pull the date up here. So that'll be February 2nd. City council will be considering the final plat as well as the final PUD. The planning commission already reviewed the the PUD overlay district. That has not changed. So city council will also be considering that along with the development agreement.
all right, very good. That moves us on to item 9B. We're going to review the shoreline ordinance. And James, you want to introduce this?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So Planning Commission directed staff to work with the Minnesota DNR to investigate if lot widths and lot sizes are negotiable. The DNR did recommend that staff analyze properties in the shoreline district, so the city has stats to back up our request. Staff did review 121 properties in northeast Brainerd that are located in the Rice Lake Shoreline District. These lots were non-riparian sewered lots, which is what the Planning Commission had recommended looking at. So those are properties that are sewered, that are not directly located or adjacent to Rice Lake. Again, the shoreline district for lakes are 1,000 feet. For rivers, they're 300. So with that, the statistics that staff were able to calculate, the average lot width was 78 feet, with 50 feet wide being the highest recurring number. The average lot area was 12,128 square feet, with 59 properties having a lot size between 6,500 and 7,500 square feet. Again, kind of the highest number of that. The average impervious surface number is 31.48%, with 20 properties having more than 40% impervious surface. So staff are presenting a preliminary table that has a separate column for non-riparian sewered lots in the TN and CN districts for general development lakes. Staff did propose 7,000 square feet rather than the required 10,000 square feet for single-family home lot sizes and a 50-foot frontage rather than the 75 feet. Staff also provided numbers for duplexes, triplexes, and quads to reduce those numbers as well to allow for greater infill development. Staff are also proposing a 40% impervious surface coverage for the TN and CN properties rather than the 25%. They did indicate that the impervious is also potentially negotiable. So staff are not proposing lot width changes for rivers, as the shoreline district is only 300 feet, but these properties would still benefit from the increase in impervious surface percentage. And with that, I can answer any questions and seeking direction from the Planning Commission tonight to enter final negotiations with the Minnesota DNR.
All right, questions for staff?
Mr. Chair. Director Kronvik, are there any changes to the list of public waters that were proposed in the draft? Additions or deletions from that?
So there are going to be some additions to public waters. There was a designated trout stream that wasn't in there. So that's going to be a required addition. That's something that we can't really decide on. I believe that was called a transition river, so we're going to have to add that as well. And I believe there was one other Buffalo Creek section as well that had to be added. So there was a couple sections that will be added to the public waters as well.
That's for public water courses. How about lakes and
Lakes had no adjustments from what we had proposed.
okay. Thank you. No further, Mr. Chair.
Very good. Any questions for staff, for James? I've got just a real general question. I have to admit, I look at at these graphs and I look at this ordinance. You know, for Mike, it's probably, a very familiar reading and been there a million times. I'm a little confused by it. What is the biggest change? What's going to change the most for people that want to build there, for current homeowners? What's the biggest change?
Yeah, so Max, if you want to scroll up. So a little bit further down to that table. So you'll see on the right-hand side there is a section added general development lakes, contemporary and traditional neighborhoods. So typically general development lakes would require the 10,000 square feet. For general development lakes, if you're in the CN or TN districts, that will go down to 7,000 square feet, which is kind of our traditional size. You'll see general development lakes for a duplex would typically have a 17,500 square foot requirement. And then staff and potentially the planning commission, if recommended, would ask for 10,000 square feet, kind of so on. You can see triplex is 25,000 versus staff's request of 13, and then 32 versus 16,000. So certainly reducing those numbers. Staff did think there had to be some type of an increase for increased density, but would also still then have to meet impervious surface coverage. Max, if you want to scroll down. So you see down there, impervious surface coverage for contemporary and traditional neighborhood zoning districts. Staff is recommending 40% rather than 25% impervious surface for the rest of the districts. I think staff would note in here kind of a dashed line that, again, this would be for sewered, non-riparian lots. I think there's still it would be a need for those that are actually located along the shoreline where water can, directly go to the lake to still be 25%. So again, I think the biggest concern is that that shoreline district extends 1,000 feet. Max, if you want to go to that map. So this is just one section. Certainly there's the other side of Rice Lake as well as the southern part. You can see that it affects that entire area in red, which is lot and block areas. So these are non-riparian lots that have connection to city sewer. They also have stormwater, gutter and stormwater sewer in there. So because it's already built out, we have a traditional town in here. We have lots and blocks. We're sewered. This would give those residents a chance to either, put on a patio and have that 40% impervious surface requirement where they may not have to come in for a variance. It would also allow, potentially if you have a 10,000 square foot lot, you can make it into a duplex rather than having that higher threshold that's required in the shoreline district. So those, it really, it wouldn't be impactful to the ones that are actually on the property, but you can see that shoreline district does go quite a ways into northeast Brainerd there. So that is really what staff looked at, is really zoning in on those kind of lot and block areas to have those exceptions for.
Would you say it's in general going to be less onerous or more onerous going ahead for homeowners?
Far less onerous.
Okay, very good. That's what I was looking for. Any other contributions, other ideas? Think of what we're missing or what general opinions?
I get I don't know, I'm half joking when I ask this, but who makes the designation of a lake? I mean, couldn't we argue Rice Lake is a big bay of the river?
So I believe the DNR makes that designation.
As public waters, going back to the 1970s, and so that's been an established designation for 50 years.
Like I said, I'm half joking about it, but I mean, it would reduce that shoreline buffer significantly if we were able to do that. And then one other quick question.
Yeah.
You mentioned a trout stream. Is that Whitley?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, it's just barely in city limits.
It's barely in city limits, but yeah, it
Probably.
needed to be listed.
Okay.
And that's out by the airport, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bring your short fly rod.
All right. General consensus is the staff on the right track here? Otherwise, I think you're getting a consent. You're getting nods here. I think things are going well. Is the next step further negotiations with the DNR? What's the next step?
Yep, so next steps would be I have to draft a letter based on what we're asking for here, so I have a good idea what Planning Commission's looking for. And then they'll review what we have. Certainly the statistics and the review of these properties will help. I'll include that as well in that letter, and then we'll see what the DNR comes back with. If it's in a timely manner and I have the ordinance, there's a few water bodies I have to add. I have to do some table amendments. The goal, if I can expedite it, would be for the Planning Commission to review the ordinance and potentially move it to council at the next meeting. If it takes a little bit longer from the DNR, it might be 2 months, but we'll see how that negotiations go.
Very good.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
If it would it help to have a motion from the board to just direct staff to begin those negotiations? You good?
I think we're good.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Very good. So that moves us on to our new business and looking for the annual review of the Planning Commission bylaws. James?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So staff includes this each year in the first annual meeting. This is time for the Planning Commission to review it, and if they do want to make any changes, certainly can do it. Staff is not recommending any changes at this time, so I'll turn it over to the Planning Commission.
All right, show of hands, who read the whole bylaws today? Anybody read the whole bylaws? No?
I was counting on you to do it again.
I've done it before. I do it every single year,
So?
and I always make the same suggestions, and I don't know. I think there's a few little things that, I think the critical, because pause right there for a second. The 7 members, well, I guess part of it is the, I think we've discovered last year with the, having a quorum, right? And it's voting members. It's not who's here. It's the voting members. So it's always going to be 4 for quorum.
Nope, so our city attorney did say that, say you only have 5 members that are on the commission, then
They're
3 would
on the
constitute a
commission.
quorum.
Okay, but if you have, but if they just don't show, okay, so it's the percentage of whatever that you're existing at. And so
That's
our number
correct.
right now is 6, so quorum is 4,
That's correct.
just like it would be with 7, so,
Yep.
all right. Well, if nobody else has any comments or great thought, I think I made my annual comment on that. There were a couple little picky things, but I think I'm good with where we're at on that. If as long as nobody else has any other comments, then we're moving on to staff reports. We're already up to staff reports.
One more item.
One more item. The calendar. How did I forget the calendar? 2026 Planning Commission calendar.
Yep, so staff is just looking for an approval by the Planning Commission. We didn't have any holidays in this one that would move the Planning Commission to, say, a Thursday. So staff is just looking to, for the Planning Commission to approve the annual calendar.
All right.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Director Kronvik, the October meeting is the second Wednesday of the month. Is there a reason we want that, or is that going to create conflicts with other city functions?
I won't make the third one.
You won't, you're going to be, huh?
Oh, yep, that may have been an oversight.
We changed it because.
We'll change that.
Mr.
Yep, so
Pierce.
recommend changing the October one.
I won't be there then.
Oh, yeah, 10/14.
So will we adjust that one, or is there,
I would recommend adjusting that one.
Yeah, and I'm sure you
it'll be
intended
the
to go
21st then, I believe.
And then how about December?
Or 19th.
12/16 on December? Is that the third Wednesday, or are we going with second Wednesdays? It is the third? Okay. Somebody's got a calendar up. All right, with that one noted change, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the calendar
Do we have a
as
second?
amended?
Yes. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We have a calendar. Now we get to move to number 11, staff reports. James?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So I have a couple items to update the commission on. So staff have been receiving multiple inquiries, calls, and emails about the RFP for consulting services on the comp plan update. So staff is expecting a number of submittals for the commission to review once those do come in. Also, staff was approached by Minnesota Green Step Cities regarding our data center ordinance, as we were one of the first cities in Minnesota to implement additional regulations. So I'll be presenting during a virtual meeting on how we constructed the ordinance, what went into that. There's a lot of other municipalities that are also interested in implementing similar ordinances. I also do have a meeting with Green Step to discuss options for the city's purchasing policy. May not have to be as stringent as what we thought, so there may be options for that as well. And then also discussing steps 4 and 5, which have been a struggle for multiple cities. I've been told that they have changed the requirements, so I'll learn more to see if it seems more feasible to move on to those other steps. And that is everything.
Very good. Any questions for James? Yes.
Director Kronvik, at the January 5th meeting of the city council, there was concern about funds that were previously approved to assist with staff in doing the comp plan revision. Are we okay at this point? Is that resolved, are those funds available, and do we have, can we be moving forward with?
So there was a comment by one of the council members that, they may not see the need for a comp plan update at this time. So that wasn't stated by all the council members. So I'm not sure, what the final vote will be for council, but we did receive approval from council to move on to the RFP.
Okay, good.
Okay, so we're forward. Good. And I had that same question. So we are moving forward?
We are moving forward. Staff did notice it. Council did approve to move forward with the RFP process.
Excellent. Any insights, Tad? Looks like the council's on board on this. Are we moving ahead? Or it seemed like there were little concerns in there, but.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from others, I haven't heard anything directly from other council members other than the comment. I would take it as a good sign that the RFP was approved and it'll come up, and I've done comprehensive plans in the past. It'll be a yes vote from my seat. I would encourage the plan, so.
All right. Very good. We are number 12, looking for member reports. We're going to start with Mr. Erickson. Anything to report?
No, nothing further.
All right. Justin, anything to report?
I guess I'd just like to thank the rest of the commission for appointing me vice chair. Shows a lot of trust in me, and thank you for that.
No, you deserve it. All right. All right, moving this way. Any thoughts?
I have nothing.
Got nothing. All right. Dave, you got anything?
I don't at this time, no.
All right. Mike?
It's time for my monthly wintertime sidewalk survey. And I would like to tip a hat to our businesses on the north side of Washington Street from the bridge up to Fourth. The sidewalks are in great shape. And our friends at MnDOT had sidewalks on the bridge in great shape. And I think that's essential when we're going to dive down to some rock ice making weather right now. So I think the sidewalks there, I think they're doing well. So I'd like to give them a nod and appreciation for looking out for pedestrians. That's all I got.
You're talking the Washington Street Bridge, correct?
Yeah.
Well, I'll report on the Laurel Street Bridge, and it was looking a little rough. It's beginning to, was it last week or the last time I walked? And it seemed like in a departure from the past, the snow was pushed all the way up against the railing. And so the snow would sit on the railing and warm up during the day and then form ice that would come back over and forming this evil sheet of ice across there. Is that a city responsibility to keep the Laurel Street Bridge clear, or?
It is. I can let the Public Works Department know that.
But the last time I walked, which was about a week ago before this cold has descended, I did notice that it looked like they'd cleared, at least the north side had been cleared. But unless you get all the snow off there, you never have a chance of getting back to pavement. It perpetuates the ice and things like that. Well, that's all I have. It's a little my extension of Mike's sidewalk report.
Yeah, I would say that would be excellent condition on Washington Street. So just so you know, we're apples and oranges here, so.
All right. Well, they are definitely, there's more pressure on Washington Street, of course, because cars are about 3 feet away from you going about 45 miles an hour. Always exciting. All right. If that's it, I mean, this is like a record, 6:28. I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Duval.
All right. Do we have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That was swift.